Hello and welcome to the start of my F1 25 driver career mode. After winning the F3 championship in 2023, we have been promoted to F2 along with signing onto the Red Bull Junior program, as well as we look to make it to Formula 1 for the 2025 season. We have signed for Campos Racing alongside Isack Hadjar, who we will be going up against for the RB seats on the 2025 grid. This is the calendar ahead of the 2024 season. We're going to start off in Australia before we head to Europe in Imola, Monaco, Spain, Silverstone, Spa, Monza, and we'll finish off the season in Abu Dhabi, where we hopefully have proven our worth for a Formula 1 drive. So we come into the very first round now in Australia, into qualifying, and there's loads of verities up at stake in this career mode. We're hoping to make it to Formula 1 one day, and the only way we really can put ourselves on the map is to go back to back with Formula 3 and Formula 2, as our first lap in anger in the Formula 2 car put us P5. We dropped down into P6, but we're going even quicker on this lap. We've found nearly half a second on this lap as we come on to our final run at the end of the first qualifying session of our Formula 2 career. We found another half a second, and we're going to start the feature race P8, but the sprint race from the second row, 2 minutes 9:24. So we're on the grid now ahead of our first race in F2 for the sprint race. We are starting P3. We're going to be starting on the ultra soft tyres to get us to the end. No pit stops in Formula 2 sprint. As the 5 red lights come on now, we're racing in Formula 2 and we've got an unbelievable start. We go through the top 2 and into the lead. Bearman now is looking to get past Stanek as well. Up the inside, Bearman's had a great start. Antonelli from P2's had a shocker. He's gone backwards, but we lead the Formula 2 sprint race here at Australia in Albert Park. It's been a dream start. Now, can we get down the road? Can we defend this lead and win our first Formula 2 race? This is Antonelli's start. Absolute shocker from the front row from P2. Has gone absolutely nowhere and been absolutely mugged, and made contact there with the high tech of Paul Aaron at turn 1 as well. Bit of a shocker for him, as we were just keeping the gap just over a second to Stanek in P2, just keeping him out of that DRS zone, and everything was all under control in the first couple of laps of this sprint race. As lap 6 now, and everything is still as it was round second and a half. We're continuing to keep Stanek behind. Everyone is flooding through now, and our teammate Hadjar is having a bit of a stinker to the opening season of Formula 2, as we are fighting against him really for that final seat in RB next season that we've been told we have by Helmut Marko. As we come into then the final corner for the final time, we have dominated this sprint race, and it's not going to take us long before we're winning in Formula 2 and we win the sprint race.
I can see them making their way onto the podium now. Campos have come a really long way in this championship, and what a special race it has been. They're on top again.
So that's been the very first bit of racing in this career mode for the sprint race. We win the sprint race 1.5 seconds ahead of Stanek. Bearman couldn't get Stanek, he rounds out the podium, and then it's Miata and Antonelli who round out the top 5. Teammate Hadjar 21st, couldn't make any progress in that sprint race, finishes where he started. Victor Martins as well, not having the best, he finished last.
Well then, after an exciting session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. A fantastic effort from Franco Colapinto yesterday puts him on pole position, with Kush Maini alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have, for sure, Miata, Amory Cordial, Bearman, Brown, Antonelli, Stanek, Joshua Dirksen, Aaron, Villa Gomez, Jack Crawford, Gabriel Bortoleto, Fittipaldi, Hauger, Barnard, Zach O'Sullivan, Maloney, Correa, Hadjar, and Victor Martins completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So it's going to be Colapinto on pole from Friday's qualifying. Can he win the first feature race of the season? It's going to be a one-stopper. Everyone starting on the yellow walled mediums and then the ultra soft later on in the Grand Prix. As the private lights come on then ahead of this feature race in Australia, and it's lights out and away we go, and just like we're all over the road, just like the sprint race, we've made an unbelievable start. We're up into P4. Next at the road is Stanek, who we battled towards turn 1 in the sprint race. We've got half the job done if we want to win the feature race and go back to back on debut. We're going for a lunge at turn 3 and we've gone straight on and over the gravel, and we're trying to keep the car in a straight line. We're dropping like a stone. We've lost out to Paul Aaron. We've dropped all the way to P9. We somehow keep the car in a straight line. We're back on the track and we've dropped down, and that great start has all come to nothing. We're back to square one. We've actually lost one more place on where we started in P9. Absolute shocker of a start to the feature races. Mark thinks that's a good start. Don't think he was watching what happened down at turn 3. Now we're on to lap 3 and we're all over the back of Paul Aaron in the high tech, and we're getting closer and closer to him, and we're going to go for a dive down the inside into turn 3. This time we get it slowed down, we don't go through the gravel. Paul Aaron's trying to keep it pinned around the inside for turn 4, but we bend him off around the outside and take that position and back up into P8. And now we're on the back of Stanek for the third time we've battled him in this race weekend, as there's a lock up in front. This time though we just nearly get it slowed down past Stanek. We have the inside line, we've had a big tank slapper there. Stanek keeps us behind, and we're going to have another go now, heading down towards the next DRS zone. We're all over the back of him as now we head towards the quick chicane as we look to get closer and closer to the back of that car. And we're in the tyre tracks, we've got the DRS open. Are we going to be brave enough to brave it around the outside? We're going for it. Is Stanek going to keep his foot in? No, he's not. He lifts out, and it's a lovely move around the outside. And up next is Miata for P6 in this race. It's on to lap 6 now, and there's an issue with the car. Hopefully that's not terminal and it's something they can just fix. Hopefully it's just a glitch in the data or something like that, because we're on a bit of a roll here after that early lap trip through the gravel. We're all over the back of Miata now. We're going to look to hopefully pull an undercut here and get through this DRS train behind Colapinto as we get Miata there down the inside. We're up into P5, but our day is over for the feature race. We have an engine issue. There's no smoke, so maybe it's just a technical engine issue, but our feature race is over, and it's very much a mixed weekend here in Australia.
to start the party. Franco Colapinto takes the checkered flag.
Well, they've sent that one, haven't they? Brilliant start to the season, and that's exactly what they wanted for their early points tally.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be MP Motorsport picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
So that's been then your feature race, Formula 2 feature race here in Australia. Colapinto having a great weekend, winning from pole for the feature race, getting the fastest lap as well. Cordial finished on the podium as well, P2. Richard Verschoor rounds out the podium. Miney was P4 and Antonelli rounded out the top of 5. But for us down at the back, bit of a mixed weekend in our opening weekend here in Formula 2, from winning the sprint and that very much being a big high on debut to having that engine issue in the feature race. So we finished last with a retirement. Hadjar, our teammate, could only get up into P14, so a better feature than sprint race for him. Carrera then was the final finisher of the day. And in terms of the Drivers' World Championship now, Colapinto getting those 2 points from getting pole position as well, has a 9-point lead over Cordial in the high tech, and he is just 2 points ahead of Richard Verschoor in P3, and then we are all the way down in P8 with just 10 points. And then in terms of the constructors, High Tech are winning by just 1 single point over Trident. Trident just 1 point in front of MP Motorsport as well, and we as Campos are all the way down in P6. So that's been the opening round of my F1 25 driver career mode. We set off life in Formula 2, hunting down a drive on the 2025 Formula 1 grid. We've been told if we have a good season, there'll be an RB seat waiting for us next season. But we've got to go up against Hadjar and show that we are worth it. But I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the career mode. I'll see you in the next one for round 2 at Imola. Goodbye.